Hello, and welcome to another episode of UME Connect. Today, we're talking about a very dear and very close to me group, which is called RePatriot. It's a movement which has a really nice purpose and a really nice mission. And I'm so glad to have with me one of the volunteers of this movement. His name is Gabriel Aftenie. And we're going to discuss next about RePatriot. What is it and what it wants to do? Hello, Gabriel, and welcome.
Hi, Marius. Nice to be here.
First off, I want to thank you for being here. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know, we'll see. Some of our listeners do not know so much about RePatriot. And I would like to start first by saying, who is Gabriel? And actually, who's RePatriot?
Well, first of all, the most important thing is RePatriot is not Gabriel. I'm volunteering in the project. I'm part of the core team of RePatriot for about 6 or 7 years now. And together with a core team, we have created this movement, as you said, in which we are trying to bring back a sentiment of belonging, a sentiment of being Romanian to those who left Romania many years ago or several years ago, who felt that they were betrayed by Romania at the time. And we are trying to get them back to a better sentiment about Romania, to feel good about being Romanian, because things have changed here dramatically. And we need them to further change the country to a better place. So
if I'm best to understand, your main purpose is not to move back Romanians into Romania, but to have them work as a community and feel that they belong.
This is one of the purposes. The second purpose is that the Romanian diaspora is the most important foreign investor of Romania at the present moment. A lot of money is coming back to Romania because of the diaspora.
Okay.
A lot of professionals who work abroad have started businesses over here, and sometimes they move back to Romania. And we are trying to let them know that this is a very good economic environment over here. Taxes are low, even though the government is trying to change the things right now.
Unfortunately, that's not a good moment. Well, what can I say?
Well, it is a good moment because still, even with these changes, for foreign investors to come in, it's a very good economic environment. You cannot find 10% interest, 10% income tax or business tax anywhere in the world. Indeed, the taxes for labor are high in Romania, but it compensates for the income tax. And real estate is still low over here. We still have a lot of opportunities that can be fruitful for investors. On the other side, we have a lot of bureaucracy. But in countries where bureaucracy is low, you cannot have so many investments. In countries where bureaucracy is high, you have more opportunities, economic opportunities.
Correct. But so RePatriot basically is a volunteer organization. From what because I did my background check a little bit, I understood that RePatriot is actually a program of Romanian business leaders, right?
Exactly.
Because a lot of people, maybe some of our listeners from the Middle East don't know, but Romanian business leaders is one of the most prominent business communities in Romania today, which have a crucial role even in policy making, because they have a voice that is being heard. So this makes RePatriot an even more, how can I put this, serious program, because I love your agenda. You guys travel abroad a lot. You guys go get all the community together, talk with them, try to help them out, try to listen to their needs, try to present a side of Romania, which, in my opinion, all the people should see. Not only the Romanians, but also investors that want to come here. Because, this show is called You and Me Connect, right? So that's basically it.
Yes,
it's about you and me connecting.
We are trying to connect the Romanians from abroad, Romanians from the country, because that's the only way we can do things better in the country. Because the people abroad have a different type of mentalities. They've seen what's going on over there. They know what public services should look like. They know how people should be treated. And they have to bring back this mentality over here and implement it, because we cannot change without having a factor of change.
And we have, without having an example, they become the example. They're being taught outside how to, some of them work in multinationals, some of them have their own business, but their business is grown in a different mentality. They didn't go away from here because they didn't like Romania. They went away from here because they were struggling here.
Exactly.
And they went to find a better opportunity where to grow.
Exactly.
And a lot of them grew. So it's time to get all that knowledge, basically, and bring it home. So that's what you're basically doing, right?
Yes, that's what.
Great. How was it so far? You know, you've been around 7 years, right?
Yes, I've been here. I've been with the program for about 7 years right now. As you said, it started with the Romanian business leaders. We have a summit every year. And every year, people who are invited or members of the RBL, they get together in the second day of the summit, and they propose projects. 7 years ago, Marius Bostan stood up and he said, look, we want to have a program for the diaspora.
Wow.
And they started to play around with the idea. They got together. We came up with the name of RePatriot. And then, with the help of the business community and our own funds, practically we are not funded by anybody. We are apolitical. We are not being sponsored by the government or whomever else. With our own money, we went to Italy, we went to Great Britain, we went to Ireland, we went to, just recently we had a delegation in Belgium.
Nice.
All right. So we are trying to let people know that we should not only talk about politics. We have to talk about the economy. We have to talk about resources over here, because otherwise we are not going to use the resources that we have.
Correct.
And that's the purpose of RePatriot.
What's the feeling of the Romanians abroad? What are they saying?
We've changed. In the beginning, 7 years ago, when RePatriot went to Italy, more exactly, the diaspora thought that we were agents of the government.
What? Nice.
And we went there to get them to pay money to Romania for the government, so on and so forth.
Just another politician or another tax collecting.
Somebody who's trying to get on the political scene, somebody who wants to get a position or function in government and so forth. Very fast they understood that we are not politicians. We are not having a political agenda behind us. We are not trying to raise funds for different causes and so forth. We are just trying to bring people together to understand that Romania is ripe for investments right now. And 10 years from now, 20 years from now, is going to be much more difficult.
Correct, because all the open places and available are going to be occupied.
Exactly.
You know, one thing which I love about RePatriot is the way your guys are being perceived. Which this is one of the reasons why Romanian business, you know very well, I'm the president also of the Romanian Business Council. So this is one of the reasons why I was discussing heavily with Marius Bostan, and we agreed that next year we're going to do a RePatriot event that is going to be sustained by the Romanian Business Council in the Middle East, because very few people know. But for example, just simple example, United Arab Emirates, we have close to 30,000 registered Romanians that are working in the United Arab Emirates. And the interesting thing is, most of all are in high-ranking positions in very important companies.
I do know that because practically, as I said, I'm a team member of RePatriot, but I have my own company. It's we are doing translation services.
Oh, nice.
And we have a lot of Romanians who are in the United Arab Emirates who request translation services from us.
Nice.
Because they have very high positions, they are very well qualified, and they need to translate different documents from Romania so they can accede to different positions in the UAE. Yeah. So practically, I do know this. We are working with several companies that have presence in the Emirates, and we are waiting for Senator Viorel Badea to receive a position in Abu Dhabi, I think.
He was already confirmed, so he starts in November.
So practically, we are
waiting on his agenda, from what I know, and it's also on the Romanian Business Council's agenda.
Okay.
Basically, this means that it's on His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Khalifa bin Hamdan Al Nahyan's agenda, because, as you well know, Romanian Business Council is being currently under the patronage of His Highness, and so, you know. Anyways, but the whole idea is that what I feel is that what you guys are doing is really nice, because if a Romanian that is abroad is convinced that things are slowly changing in Romania, he's going to also convince the organization he's working in. And once you have people that are in key position, we need those people to actually be a repatriate, because that's what you guys do.
Yes, most of the people abroad are becoming repatriates. You were asking me about the sentiment from the people abroad. In the beginning, if you recall, about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we had issues with Romanians who went on the streets, and when they listened and heard Romanians being spoken, they turned around and so.
Yeah, correct.
Now, people are not doing this anymore. People understood that Romania has changed. We are not that communist country anymore. We are not that communist mentality anymore. We have been changing a lot, not just slowly. It changed a lot. Of course, in different parts of the country. If we talk about the large cities like Cluj, Bucharest, Timișoara, and Constanța, and so forth, the change is dramatic. If we go to the countryside, maybe we'll find some...
it was normal.
Some issues.
Propagation of stuff like works a little bit slow.
And mostly, it's not mostly because of the distance from the large cities, but it's an aging population. They do not have access to new means of technology and news, and that's why they are still behind the times. But they're coming. They are coming around because they need services. They need better public services, better medical services. They need to be taken care of, and they're coming around to
very nice
different things.
So for the people that are listening to us, let's try and a little bit once again summarize very quickly. RePatriot is a movement that has one purpose: presenting Romania as it is and helping the people that are abroad Romania understand that Romania is in a constant change for the better.
Exactly.
And that's a nice job.
In that Romanians are welcome back to Romania anytime.
But also, if they are abroad, they are still an integral factor for the Romanian economy. This is very important. In my opinion, this is very important to underline.
And not just the economy, it's an important factor for the economy because, as I said, it's the first foreign investor in Romania. Secondly, it's an important factor for politics because having the right to vote gives you the right to influence Romanian politics for the better. Correct. So every vote counts. Every vote should be taken into account. And with that mentality, they have a right to say how the country should be governed. They should.
More so, you know, that when...
whomever wants and however they want to govern, that's their choice.
I don't know if you know how the Ministry of Foreign Affairs works when they're preparing a consular or an ambassador. You know, they have this training period because they're basically representing Romania. Well, actually, I think you're kind of like the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for all the Romanian abroad because they are all the 5 million Romanians that are abroad Romania, they are all Romanian ambassadors, exactly. All of them.
Exactly.
They represent us.
Exactly.
So basically, you're just giving them the proper tools to present us in the right way.
Actually, we are doing, in my opinion, it's my opinion, my sole opinion, I think we are doing the job of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We are doing the job of the Ministry of Entrepreneurship, Economy, Entrepreneurship, and Tourism. We are doing the jobs of many other ministries because Romania, unfortunately, right now, they do not have representatives for economy in the world. they don't have representatives.
They don't have enough, let's say.
No, they don't have
any.
For example, for tourism, they block the process. We don't have any representatives for tourism throughout the world. So in the U.S. we don't have any. In Vienna we don't have any. In Italy we don't have any. In Germany,
that's crazy.
Throughout the world, we don't have any representatives for tourism right now.
That's crazy.
And we are trying to bring people to Romania. Okay, so practically the diaspora is doing the job of the ministry.
Can I just underline one thing? You know that we are the only country that doesn't have Emirati tourists, that all around us, Serbia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Albania, is currently full of tourists and of regular people from the Emirates that came as tourists once, came the second time, and third time they started investing, not much, just buying a house, buying a farm. We're the only country that doesn't have this, and we are the largest in the Eastern European bloc.
And that's an issue that we have not just with the Emirates, but we also have the same issue with India. We have the same issue with China. We have the same issue with many other countries because of the current regulations. For example, if you want to bring the tourists from the Emirates over here, you have to vouch and you have to sign an affidavit of support to bring that person to Romania. In case that something happens to that person, you are liable, criminally liable.
Criminally?
Yes.
Wow.
Liable for the person. So the tourism agencies that I spoke with for about 7 or 8 years now, they have an issue because they cannot criminally vouch for that person. You cannot provide an affidavit of support for a tourist to come to Romania. Unfortunately, that's the situation right now. We are trying to change it. In the tourism board, we are trying to move things along, but it's difficult to change. But you know, I believe that with the government support, with the EU's support, we can change things.
But let's just, for our listeners, let's just want to say one thing about Romania. Romania is a country that has 30% of plain, 30% of mountains, 30% of hills, and 10% of sea. So we're an unbelievably beautiful country that is worth visiting, that people should come and visit.
Yes.
And in my opinion, but it's my personal opinion, I think Romania has this unexploited richness, which is its beauty through tourism, which we're doing close to nothing for. And what you're telling me worries me, actually. So I'm just talking here, but still, I mean,
that's an opportunity that we are not taking advantage of, unfortunately. As I said earlier about the cities and the rural areas, the cities are full of people. The rural areas are unspoiled, and that's another natural resource that we are not using in capacity.
And the food in the rural areas,
exactly.
it's out of this world.
Exactly.
It's out. It's absolutely tasteless. It's full of taste. It's full of love. I mean, they cook for you with love. Yes. They welcome you in their home and they cook for you. And that's something that a lot of people cannot see anywhere else in the world. Now, what can I say? I mean, so we're about to go close. I think we're going to do more of these because we have a lot to talk about. But since we're coming towards the end of the podcast, my question and my message to you is keep on doing what you're doing. My question to you is, what's next in RePatriot?
Next, we are going to amplify our delegations. We are connecting with people. Practically, it's an invitation for the listeners and the viewers of this podcast on the 5th and 6th of October of this year. And every year, practically, so if you cannot make it this year, maybe next year you can make it. We have a RePatriot Summit. And in this summit, usually have about 200 or 300 people joining us from Romania and from all over the world. We had people from Cambodia coming to Romania. We have people from the U.S. frequently. That's not something special. People will come in to connect with other Romanians, especially on the business side, but also on cultural events. We have artists who come to Romania. We have business people, we have philanthropists, we have all kinds of people. And please join us on October.
Definitely. Well, what thing is like this, on the 6th of October, we also have the official launch of the Romanian Business Council in Burj Khalifa. So unfortunately, this year, I'm not going to be able to be there. Although some of our colleagues that are in Romania at the time will join you. We already spoke about this with Marius. And once more, you have my personal promise, as I did also spoke with them, with Mr. Gostan, that we will have a RePatriot event next year in the Middle East, dedicated to the Middle East. You can count on the support of our nonprofit organization of the Romanian Business Council, who is going to be fully supporting what you guys are doing, because you're teaching Romanians to be ambassadors for a effervescent business community. So for that, I can only say chapeau, well done.
Thank you. We are not teaching. We are just being there for people who need support and help. We are not teachers. We are not gurus. We are just Romanians trying to help other Romanians.
Building confidence.
Exactly.
Building confidence.
Building communities. Communities, because we are a great community. We have for example, the inventor of the DVD is Romanian. And many other people who are in the front end of technology abroad. We should be proud of these people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And we should welcome them back to Romania and present them as such, as leaders in their fields.
I agree with you. Once again, thank you very much. You've been very kind. Let's do this one more time. Whenever you guys need anything, we're here. But also, once again, I need to underline this. People at home listening, they need to know 5th and 6th of October, there's going to be the RePatriot event.
Yes.
Everyone
in Bucharest. It's going to be in Bucharest this year at the Palace of Parliament. And afterwards, the second day, we'll be going to the Black Sea, and we'll have a regatta. So practically, we'll be getting on the yachts, and we continue our discussions to further our connections.
Nice. And in the meantime, what can I say? Thank you once again. Go RePatriot, go. Just do your stuff. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.